and I am doing my first Facebook Live video. It is Tuesday afternoon, October 29th, and I'm at the Bridge Gallery, and that is down at the Arts District in Colorado Springs. And I've just finished installing my show, I Never Played with Dolls, and we're gonna have a sneak peek. So I gotta tell you, this is very nerve-wracking for me. I have some cheat sheets here, so you might see me looking down once in a while. But the show is up. It opens this Friday, November 1st, from 5 to 8 p.m. And I'm super excited about the performance that will be by Julia Green, an art activist, and she's going to be my living doll in the studio. And she's going to be wearing a waxy costume that I created. Now, I didn't put this show up by myself. I had some help, and the person that is filming this, Nard Clark, my sweet partner and art extraordinaire. And how about a look at Nard? How about a look at the cameraman? Oh, he's shaking his head no. Woo, there he is. So this Facebook Live video, if you are watching now, if you could make a comment, if you are friends with Nard or me on Facebook, then if you know someone that might want to be seeing this and be involved, then tag them with their name. And I'm getting direction from the cameraman. So the show is up, and I did have help from Nard and Michael Kellen and Dina Bennett, who are the owners of the gallery. Now, for those of you who are watching live or the rebroadcast who don't know me, my name is Sheary Clough Suiter, and I've been a painter for 25 years. I'm based here in Colorado Springs, but 15 years ago, I discovered encaustic. Encaustic is a paint that's made from beeswax and damar resin, a tree sap, and it's my medium. As Nard likes to say, I love encaustic so much. He calls me the encaustic evangelist, and I am. I do teach the process as well at Colorado College's Bemis School of Art. Anyway, this show is a huge departure from my usual gallery work, which you can still see year-round at the galleries that represent me in Colorado Springs, which is 45 Degree Gallery, in Anchorage, Alaska. I thought I was going to be in this. There's my face. So in Anchorage, Alaska is Stephan Fine Arts. In Camas, Washington, it's the Attic Gallery. And then I usually have a piece or two in Northern Springs up at Academy Art and Frame. Anyway, this is my baby step into art activism, and I was interested in moving in a direction that shares with you my personal allegiances. I'm interested in making art that raises questions about the historical and social biases that shift our thinking and influence our choices about personal identity. So with that, let's take a sneak peek at 3 pieces. I think from the way I've seen the camera moving that you've already been looking at Baby Steps. Baby Steps is a piece that starts as an encaustic painting. It's 24 by 24. And the baby parts are porcelain, and they were sourced locally at Who Gives a Scrap, my favorite craft store in our area. You'll see some other components. There's this webbing and this sheetrock tape, which I sourced from the desert in Southwest United States on one of Nard's and my trips around the country. And it was the sheetrock tape that I like to use, but it was already full of red dirt because it was in the desert. I've been real interested in scrolls and the things that scrolls remind me of, which has to do with knowledge, secreted, hidden, put away. And so the scrolls, also what was fun is that I introduced a weaving. When I started this series, every time I would go into the studio, I would just start playing with the components. And so I had these strips of the sheetrock tape, and I cut them and then wove them through the scrolls, and so they are contained by simply the weaving technique. Okay, I'm going to move on to another piece, and I do not have my cheat sheet that is telling me what I wanted to say exactly. So now we're looking at a piece from my Baby Talk series. And the Baby Talk series have hand-stitched verbiage. Here, I'll hold it for you. And sometimes they are a little bit funny, and sometimes they are representative of more feminist angles, expressing some common misogynist sayings. But the main point of the Baby Talk series is the fact that the way they're displayed, you see both sides. I think in our partisanship society right now, we're so interested in our side being the right side, and we're not interested in the other point of view. And so it was important to me that these be hung so that you see both the quote, wrong side and the right side. And I'm hoping that that encourages a conversation about looking at both sides and being open with your heart and your mind to other points of view. And so for the third sneak peek, it's actually a grouping of pieces, and there are a number of the artwork in the show that are groupings. Last year in August, I visited the MoMA PS1 in Queens, New York. PS1 is for Public School 1. There's the MoMA in Manhattan, and then they have a branch over in Queens. And I always like to go to that MoMA because they usually have very edgy exhibits going on. So the exhibit that I visited was called Death by Gun, and it was by Felix Gonzalez Torres. And it simply was a huge room with, in the middle of the room, on the floor was a big stack of the poster that you see here. And the poster was the artist's call to action, requesting that each viewer take one poster and share it with other people, and it was concerned about the gun violence in our country. So this is one of my doll sculptures, and she's wrapped in muslin that I stitched, and she doesn't need her own title because she represents Lori Hollings, who took her life. This was one of 346 deaths by gun that were recorded in the USA during 1 week, May 1st through 7th in 1990. So this is Lori. And Lori is adjacent to an encaustic painting titled Self-Inflicted. And this speaks to the stigma associated with mental health issues in our country. And primarily, I'm interested in the lack of free access to health care. I just feel that it's unconscionable that people can't get free health care. So, we have the show coming up this Friday, and I'm going to look at my cheat sheet because I wanted to remind you that all of the artwork is for sale at ridiculously low prices, because my intent is that you take this home and share the messages, spread it out. I don't want to take it back to my studio. NAR doesn't want me to either. But again, to remind you, the show is this Friday from 5 to 8 at the Bridge Gallery, 218 West Colorado Avenue. Now I know First Fridays are super busy. There's so many amazing venues in our community to experience. But I hope you can stop by at least for a few minutes and experience the living doll mine that will be wandering the gallery as well. I want to give a quick shout out to the International Encaustic Artists. This is a nonprofit encaustic advocacy organization that gave me a grant, an artist project grant last year that helped me finance this year that I've been working towards this show. Now, if you can't make it on this Friday, the gallery is open every Saturday from 11 to 5, and the show runs through the entire month of November. Additionally, there will be one more special event on Thursday, November 21st at 6 p.m. I'm going to come into the gallery and we'll have a Q&A. And if you aren't close enough to visit the show, consider taking a look at the 5 artist Q&A videos on my website, backdoordesigns.com, where there are a lot of questions answered, such as, did I really never play with dolls? Additionally, there's some images on the website, but what I'd really like is for you to put in the comment section if you're watching this either now live or the rebroadcast, where you live, if you live outside the Springs area, and whether you would like me to try this again after the show opens and do a live video of the entire exhibition. So there you have it. Thank you. Please comment, share with your friends. Thanks again. Come and see us this Friday, 5 to 8.